Okay, so this is a BMW iX. It's a loaner we got. So they're all electric. So
alright viewers and everybody, this is Imran Jamil once again. Today we have this beautiful BMW iX XDrive50i. This is BMW's electric SUV that is based on X5 platform, but they have obviously electrified it completely. This is an EV, not a hybrid, and shape wise I think they've done a pretty good job. It's just a love it or hate it type though. It's something that can grow on you, or a lot of people don't like the back. I don't actually mind it. Overall profile from the side is pretty SUV like. It just has some of the aspects that remind you a little bit of, let's say, Range Rover from the back, a little bit of Acura MDX from the side. So this is an imitation grille and doesn't really have any vents.
it's a self-healing grille.
Yeah, and that's the part that I want to say, that this grille actually is state of the art. So it is self-healing for the chips or any of the dings that you get from highway driving. How did they do it?
You gotta pour some hot water onto it, and then
Yeah, so thank you for reminding me that. But it's commendable. Overall, I'm not an EV person, but this has been the first EV that really caught my attention. And I've pretty much driven the Tesla models, as well as Polestars, as well as I don't even remember what else is there. But anyway, the major difference is when a manufacturer does it versus the new companies, the build quality, the overall driving dynamics, and overall interior layout. It doesn't have a typical BMW interior. Yes, the infotainment and the dash and everything else reminds you of that, but it's a completely different interior from the rest of the lineup. I personally don't like the minimalist interiors that much, because now everything else that could have manual controls or manual buttons, you're reliant on the screens for most part. But overall, a really great vehicle, and it's got 516 horsepower and 590 foot-pound of torque. So this is a quick vehicle. The 0 to 60 number is stated as 4.4, which I don't understand why, because it feels significantly faster than that. And overall acceleration, plus the other thing that I noticed with this platform is usually the EVs taper off the power at the higher end. This thing is like an internal combustion engine that just keeps going as you go higher in the RPM range. Coming to the trunk. The trunk is absolutely well laid out, but very, very small for SUV this size. It's based on X5, but I think they gave more leg room in the seats, so this area is smaller than the X5. And over here, it does come with two chargers. You can charge at home with this. It works on both, I believe 110 and 220. But for supercharging, I'm not sure if it's supercharging, but then the other charger for faster charging, I would say, you have a different port that fits into all of these ports. So overall pretty convenient. And then they have this light just to make sure that if you're doing it in the darkness, you are able to see what you're doing. And as usual, no exhausts obviously, because it's not an internal combustion engine. But they have also, because it's a requirement and the lights are integrated in the tailgate, they have given two lights over here. It looks awkward, but if you see Audi Q7, they do the similar treatment. One more thing I want to show is that the illumination is pretty good. BMWs generally do well. This one doesn't have the soft closing door. its door panel also, it has frameless doors. I kind of like that. Interior of BMW iX XDrive50i. This is like a base to midline model, so it doesn't have all the features, but it does have heated seats, heated steering wheel, and all of that. Couple of cool things. This console, as you can see, there's a big gap. They could have done something over here for storage, but they just left it as if you're driving a minivan. I don't like that. It just feels very disconnected. And then, or the glove compartment is pretty small too. It's okay. It's not very small, but compared to what others offer, I think this they're missing out a little bit on this. Then over here, you have a phone holder. You can put your phone here. There's a phone holder on the right side door. That pocket is not on the left side or the driver's door. Then you have big cup holders and another pocket in the door panels. That is on both sides. Then the coolest thing is finally they've given the wireless charger and the phone placement in a useful place. Like you can put your phone, it wirelessly charges, and obviously it has wireless Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. The cup holders are pretty good. And then there's a lot of wasted space other than that. If you look at this, it's pretty deep, but it's kind of narrow, and but it's better than what I have in my X7. So I would say decent storage. Rear seat room, it's more leg room than X5, even though it's based on S5, and obviously because it's an EV, you do not have any hump over here, so it can seat 3 people relatively comfortably. But obviously if 2 are sitting, then they're extremely comfortable. Then you have the USB ports over here, USB-Cs, and then this is a place that you can put some mounts in there for your laptop or screen or phone, whatever. You know, you can have multiple options to mount your gadgets. Then the 4-zone climate control over here. This one doesn't come with the rear heated seats, but that's an option. And overall, a very nice, comfortable place. The seats are up high, so my knees are really in a comfortable position. Okay, back to interior. The other thing I really like, a lot of people might not like it, is the octagon shape type. It's not octagon, but similar in visual treatment. And I kind of like the steering wheel. It's, first of all, typical BMW, very good feel. The coolest option is this sunroof. It does not have a shade. So, for instance, but it has something unique. So if you press this, right now you can see that there is no light coming in. But you can open it if you want by pressing the buttons over here. Right here. Driving the BMW iX 50i, it's a very different experience from other EVs. This feels like a conventional car. I mean, obviously you don't have the exhaust sound or anything, but it does make interesting sounds. For car enthusiasts, obviously all EVs are equal and they don't cut it. But as far as performance is concerned, it's all there. And this is no different, that the torque distribution in this engine is phenomenal. Right now I'm on the street, so I can't do much, but it would really give you neck backlash if you're not careful, because 590 foot-pounds of torque, it seems like all come at once. So even, oh my God. So a little bit of it, and if you're not prepared, it's not a Tesla Plaid. That is on a different level. You actually feel the G-forces in a Plaid. It's really more than satisfying, and actually it's still brutal for compared to normal cars. Mileage range again in this is about 326 miles, to a full charge if you have the 21-inch rims. If you have 22 inches rims, the mileage goes down to 304 miles, which still is very good compared to something like Audi e-tron, Jaguar I-Pace, which is now cancelled. But that's where it scores very high. So I mean, overall, it's a very satisfying EV that comes as close to a conventional car as possible. So going back to the menus, HVAC controls and everything is controlled within the screen that I don't like. So over here you have the climate menu, and now you have all these options. It does have cool seats and heated seats as well, so depending upon heated steering wheel, I mean, this is a baseline to mid-level, and even then it comes pretty loaded. That is impressive. But it's pretty cold out there, so I'm not gonna want the cool seats on right now, but it's not cold enough to have the heated seats or heated steering wheel on either, so we're gonna leave it at that. This is the shifter knob. That is pretty cool. So you can have it on D, or you can press it one more time and it goes in B. Now it's regenerative braking. As you can see over here, there's an indication that if I accelerate, but then when I drop down, it brakes very aggressively without you pressing the brake pedal. So regenerative braking is at its maximum setting right now because there are 3 arrows. You can reduce that, but you can just touch it again to reduce it, whichever level you want it. So right now it's at 1 and it goes back to D. That's a cool feature that on the fly you can do, and that really saves you a lot of maintenance, I guess, cost, because the brakes are not always used as much as in any other internal combustion engine. So there are a couple of really good advantages, and maintenance cost is one in an EV, unless you require something really big, like a battery or something, which is almost like buying a new car. All right, getting on the highway, it's an electric vehicle, and the brutal acceleration is something to be experienced. You press it, and it's very linear. It's right there when you press the gas, all the torque, but then it doesn't taper off like other so many EVs that I have driven. And that's a really cool feature, because it gives you, again, as I said, that it feels very conventional. The last thing is the ambient lighting is pretty cool too. You can change all the colors, the door panels, as well as there are almost lights all around the car, and it just creates a good ambiance, and the overall feel of the car is very relaxing if you're not really pushing it. 2024 BMW iX. Hope you liked the review. It was a quick look at it. If you like it, please share, subscribe, and press the bell icon. We'll continue to bring you more. Have a good one. Take care.